G'day legends, welcome back to another Friday I've installed. Now today, we are back on the Mighty 250 Series Prado. And have we got something special for you? Well, you already know what you're here for, because you're here to see us show you how to install the rear drawers for the 250 Series. Now, if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back. First thing you must do, go over to your fridge, grab yourself a guilty pleasure. In our case, it's the, drum roll, Pirate Life South Coast Pale Ale. Cheers, legends. Now this is probably a 6-beer install. It's actually really easy. The beers are just there for the fun. So it's very easy installed. Tried to make these probably, I'm going to be biased, but I think the easiest set of drawers to install in the country, on the market. Prove me wrong. Righto, let's get into it. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some trim tools as well. So if you don't have any trim tools, jump on our webpage. We sell these on there, so you can grab yourself some trim tools. That'll get you going, but I'm going to spin this bad boy out the way, and we're going to get stuck into getting this thing done and dusted. All right, so first thing is, you've obviously got this big, ugly box that takes up all this room. So to get that out, I'm sure you know how to do it, but doink, and he just comes out nice and easy. So I'll pop him over there. I got a bit of shit in the back of that, never mind that. Now, I think this bit was meant to be with it. Anyways, this piece, or maybe that wasn't clipped in. Anyways, I'm not sure what happened with that. It was out, so you can pull that up and it just pulls out as well. Ooh, free pirate sticker. So put that over here. Now, we've got in here another piece of plastic. We've got these side trim panels and stuff, and see that there. I'll put that back in to show you again. So you see here, you've got your tab there, but you can just go doink, that bit comes out. Then we go over the other side, we do the same thing. Yep. Rip that one out as well. So those ones are out now. Get rid of them. Now, drum roll, this is the part that's not too bad. So this plastic here, we want to, so this one here, this bad boy here where your boot latches down to, we're going to pull this one out first. So you can either try and get your fingers under there, or you can grab yourself a trim tool. This is my favourite one, the steel one. But, you know, you can use this bad boy, put him under there, get him under, and just hook. Then once you get it up like that, you can just work your way along. Work along it, and then it will just come up. It's just these plastic clips here. Now, if you do happen to break some of these, you can get them from Super Cheap, any of them places. But I don't actually think you need this piece. But maybe, no, you will need this piece. I don't know. Anyways, so if you do break them, you can get them again from Super Cheap. So throw that over there. Now, you'll see here we've got same deal again. This thing's stuck down. So I'm just going to put me trim tool. Now this steel one's my favourite. So I'm going to put him straight underneath here. So the white clip. Doink. Just work my way along. Doink. Doink. And that's freed that up, right? Now it's still a little bit stuck. There we go. There's a few more down there. So I have to pull him up a little bit. Now you'll see here, it's still caught up on here. This is actually two pieces. So we're just going to push down on that and pull up on that. And that's going to free that up. There we go. Oh, and then I've got to put that back in the hole. My bad. Pop him under there. Boop. Alrighty. That gets rid of that. Now, I've obviously got this piece down the side. Same deal, it's just clipped in. So pull up on that. That should, yep. And that'll come out of the way there. Throw him over there. Now that's all those bits. Now, obviously we need to get the seat out now. And to get that, there's still some plastic here. So we're going to put my hand under this corner here. Could be under there, doesn't matter. And just pull on that. Again, same clips, comes straight out. Now you can see here we've exposed these 4 main bolts down the bottom. Exactly what we wanted to do. So very, very easy to pull them out. The next step here is you've got to grab yourself a 14mm socket, spanner, whatever you want to go for. For me, it's a socket and a rattle gun. The good old King Chrome rattle gun. Now, if you haven't really got tools at home, you're like, what am I going to use for this at home? King Chrome do an awesome set. It's a little carry case thing. They come with sockets, ratchets, spanners, hammers. They do everything. They start from $80 and go up to about $300 or something. And they're a complete kit. I think they start with like 80 pieces and get to like 200 pieces. But they're an awesome little kit. So they basically will get you through any install that you have with us. And yeah, make it nice and easy. So just so you know. So anyways, I've got the rattle gun. So start here. Pull that one out. Oh, I busted the end of this. Alright, now that's the back bolts done. Okay, so now you've got these 4 out. Don't lose these. You're going to need to reuse these to mount the drawers back down in there. So I'm going to put them up here in the cup holder so I don't lose them, because I'm actually not doing the rest of this tonight. I'm pulling this out to get some dimensions, and I'm going to come back for it in a couple of days. So let's just get to that. Anyways, now, next step, we're going to go around to the rear doors and come in from the front side of the seats and get the rest of the bolts. Let's go. Rightio, so the step we're going to do here is fold the seat forward. So as you know, you can fold these seats forward. There you go. Oh, my bad. Hang on. So I'm going to put the front seat all the way forward first. We'll do that. So pull that forward. Oh, look at that. Look at the flagpole. Got the EcoX speaker in there. My bad, forgot about that. I'll get that one out of the way. Alrighty, so now we're at the front end of this. Obviously going to pull that seat down as well. I'll do that now and then I'll show you what we do here. So now on this side, what we're going to do is we've got to actually, you'll see the plastic running across the front here. Good with that? Mm-hmm. So we've got to actually put our fingers inside here and sort of try and pull. Actually, I'll need the trim tool, please hold. All right, so we're going to get our trim tool, duck it in under this plastic, just give our fingers some room to get under there, because we want to get under there and try and pull it out. Boink, like that. And then we can work our way along the front here. And, oh, there we go. So it comes apart in pieces as well. So there's 3 pieces across the front. I'll bang them up there for now. Now you can see, let me just pull that one off. I'll go over there in a minute. Now you can see I've exposed some bolts here. So same thing again, 14 mil. You all good? Yep. 14 mil, my bad. Oh my gosh. Put that up. Far out. My rattle gun's a bit worse for you. I've given it a hiding. Now I've got both these ones out this side. So I'll go on the other side. Now, on the other side of this, it's rinse and repeat. We'll do the same thing again. So I'm not going to bother filming that and showing you that. I'm just going to go jump on the other side, rinse and repeat. Then I'll show you how to get the seats out. Now, okay, next step, you need to go over, grab your drink. Cheers, legends. And have yourself a hydration break. Because if you don't hydrate, you know what happens? You dehydrate and then you die. So, hydration. King. Oh, I don't mind, by the way, I don't mind a good beer. So now we're going to move into here. Next step. Okay, so next step, over here on the driver's side rear, you're going to see we've got a wiring harness in the back of the seat. So we've got to remove that. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if we look in here, you'll see we've got this tab bad boy here. So get my trim tool, and then we go, pop that off like that, nice and easy. Then up here you'll see we've got these plugs. There's a little tab there. You just bloody push down that tab, pull out. Push down, whoop, pull out. Like my dad should have done. No. Righto, so that's that done. Now, the seats are free to get out then. You can either be big Terry, big old Terry, or you can get someone to give you a hand and get them out. I'm going to try and be a Terry because I've got no one here to give me a hand other than my dog. Walter, come here. Other than Walter and Frankie, I don't have anyone to give me a hand. So I'm just going to try and Terry it. So let's see how we go. Alrighty. Well, I had a good bit of weight in them. All right, that's that out. Put them over here. So now we've got them out. It's a bit off the side of them. I'll throw that over here, out the way. Now we've got that out. We've got this cover here. So yours probably has a couple of clips in there, which you'll need. Sorry. Down here, you'll probably see yours probably has a couple of clips in there. Ours would have had that, but we taken this out once before, obviously. So we obviously didn't put them back in, and anyways, they're not in there. So for me, this just pulls up. You'll need to get your clips. Give me, oh, maybe at the front I'll have a clip. Let's have a look. There we go. Beautiful. We pull that out. And ta-da, look out, Frank. Alrighty, so now that exposes this whole area here where we're going to be mounting to. So we're going to be mounting straight down on the floor there, and there, all over that place. So, goes on to the next bit. So I'm going to see you guys in a few days, because now that's as far as I can go. And until the stuff comes from powder, and then we're on. Alrighty, welcome back. So now it's been a few days. We're here again. Hello. It's actually now Saturday, and I think we filmed this last Sunday, so it's nearly been a week. But anyways, we've got a whole bunch of parts that's going to come in your box, ready for assembly, right? Bolts and everything. So I'm just going to go through bit by bit as we put it in, so you can identify what you've got. First off, we're going to start with these two top hat looking things, right? These are your bottom mounts that mount down to the these are your mounts that mount down to the floor, so we can mount our draw runners on. Now, how we determine what's what, if you have a look here, we've got a 90-degree edge and an angled edge going out that way, and that one's straight up and down. So that tells me that this 90-degree edge, so you know, goes this way. So far out, I've got this cooked. No, back towards me. Fuck, I need to double check. Okay, so the first piece we've got here is one of our top hats or mounting braces on the bottom. Now, if you look at it on the side here, you're going to see we've got a flange there that goes straight up and down, and we've got this one here on a bit of an angle. Now, how we determine which way this goes is this straight up and down flange, this is everything. So that actually goes this way, pointing towards the back of the vehicle. You'll also notice these slots that are really close to that flange, that goes towards the back of the vehicle as well. So we're going to sit that one there. So I know where that one goes now. Now we've got this bigger one, this massive flange here. Got a bit of an angled lip there, you know, all the stuff. So this one is pretty easy to do. The big flange goes towards the boot as well, the back of the vehicle, and that will drop in and pretty much finish up right in front of this, right? Mwah! So let's go and install these, very easy. Come on in. So we've grabbed my bolts that I had prepared earlier. I threw in here the other day. Apparently I only need 4. Let's put them ones back. So this one here, as you can see, these are the holes, if you look in here, that we used, that we unbolted our seats from. That's what we're picking up on in these 4 places. So just going to pull this around until we see that. The important part here is you see it's slotted, so you can move it side to side, right? So we don't actually want to tighten that up yet, because if we do, we could end up having it too far one way, too far the other, not where we need it. So we're going to get everything in here before we address that. And the best way to line this up as well is, if you look here, you've got this join here, and you've got a distance there, and the same on the other side. You can line it up with that and basically be like, oh yep, we're going to go a little bit further. Cool, perfect. And then we can lock that one down. We don't have to lock it down, I'm just going to put it in a bit better with my fingers, so that way it doesn't start moving around. Makes it a bit easier for the install. So that's one thing I'll do, is just try and get that somewhat center there and there, and then we can just put the bolts in by hand, just so we can still move it if we need to. And lock that in there like so. That just makes that all a little bit easier. And as you see, it sits on that plastic there, and just, it'll pull down on that when we're done, and mwah! Alrighty, so this one again, remember I said the 90-degree flange, this one here goes towards the back of the vehicle. It's the same thing where we bolted the seats on earlier. We're going to line this up on there. I'm going to get my bolts that I stored here earlier. Alrighty, so where we are now is, we're in the back here. So as I was saying, this 90-degree flange, straight up and down one, that goes towards the boot. So we drop this down here. Now if you put it the other way, it's going to clash with the fan, so you know it doesn't work. Now you're going to reuse 2 of your factory bolts, so they'll go at either end. Then you're going to find in your kit, you got these longer M8s here, and you got these little spaces. So these spaces go on. So what we're going to do with them is we're going to actually, in these middle two holes, we've got a hole here and a hole there. Bolt in, spacer. Same again on this side here. Bolt in, and spacer. And the spacer's pretty firm to put on. And then line them up with the hole. Make that easier. Get them started. Now you see it, because these are designed so they squish down a tiny bit. So we'll put this bad boy in here as well. Fuck's sake. We'll put that end one in there. And then up here, same deal. Put the end one in as well. And pretty obvious to see, but put them in. I'll pull these down finger tight, and then we can work on the hole, aligning it all up center in a minute. Hydration is important. Okay, so next step here is we're going to identify some of the other parts. So this is one of our side ones. Now, on this one, this isn't the final piece. It's not going to come assembled like this. We've just had to do this because it's got to go in the car, and we've kind of done the design a bit different, but we're going to change this now. So, because this bolts through the rail, it'll be down here with some nutserts. So you'll be able to drop that in and just put your fingers in there at the end. So this is a side one. How we identify this side one is this cutout here. So this cutout tells me that this is going on the driver's side of the vehicle, because that's where you got the big fan to hump over. And then obviously where it'll come with the rail in it, where the rail comes out like that, that goes towards the boot. So I'm going to go and drop this one over here now. Now move my beer so I don't spill him. Next one we're going to look at is the same one here, side panels again. Now how we determine that this is also a side panel, because it won't have this on it, is you'll see here this whole leg here just straight up and down is flat. Now when we grab this one here in the middle, you'll see we've got this kinked fold here. So it kicks back in. So that one and that one are middle ones because they kick back in, and they also have this funky cutout like that there and all that. So yeah, pretty easy to tell which one's which. Now, this one is obviously clearly for the other side because it's got no cutout. So this goes on the passenger side. Sit that over here. And then of course we have these two middle ones, which I need to get these bolts out and put them in my pocket. So I have bolts for this. You can have a whole bunch of bolts too, heaps of bolts. So we'll go to the vehicle now. I'll take these over and I'll show you how we install all this. Alrighty, so how we determine where these things go? Obviously we know where these sit in here. If you look here in the middle, you've got nutserts. Yours won't be black lights, it's because I put them in before powder. They'll be a bit silver. Now you'll see these in the middle and you'll see them down the side there. So on the bottom of here, we've got holes on the bottom edges of where they go with no nutserts. So basically, we now got to go drop this bad boy in. And I'm at the front here, so I'm going to line up the front hole and put a bolt in so that one can't move. And it's a little M6 by 16 that goes into these holes. And I'm going to come and get this back one lined up and try to get that one done and dusted. Yeah, beautiful. Now again, you don't want to tighten these up. You don't want to tighten any of this up because we need to be able to make sure we can move it all before, we've got to make sure we get everything in before we can tighten it, or you won't be able to move it and things will pull a bit out. And that's how we'll lock the drawers in the right position and so on, so on. All right, next one, middle. So again, on this one, this flange towards the back, slide comes out towards the back of the vehicle. Alrighty, now the other side here, as you can see, we've got another set of nutserts right beside it. So we drop them in, line them up, and then we go to the end one here, do the same as the first one, slide him right over, line him up with the bolt holes, and we are on like Donkey Kong. Now in this corner, you might have to give it all just a little push and a tug to get that corner in. And then bolt in there, and one more bolt up there. All right, next piece of the puzzle here is this backing plate, all the slots and that little channel looking thing. So you'll see here these 4 holes in the middle, they're down to one side of the flange. So they need to go closest to the bottom. And then on the end here where we've got these flanges I showed you earlier, I'm going to pick this up. We're up in mine. Oh my God, it's so dark in this car and I'm dropping everything. And we're going to flex that out to get this one in. There we go. Now it's all sitting on there. And then what we're going to do is start putting our bolts in. Oh my gosh. Goddamn lighting. Can't work under these conditions, man. Okay, next pro tip I just learned. So, this having the 2 flanges that point inwards towards the back of the vehicle, this bottom flange, I actually had it around that. I'm like, why won't it line up? Make sure you get it to go in between these 2 flanges so it lines up with the holes. Number 1 pro tip. Number 1 pro tip. All right, let's put some bolts in. Alrighty, so we're going to grab one of our floor panels that go on top. You'll see here we've got these little bits like that, nuts out, so you've got these little cutouts in here. We've got these flanges, so basically this will just drop down like that, drop in there. So I'm going to drop that in the middle here, and then see how I can move all this around and line this up, which is what we need to be able to do. So I'm going to put that bad boy there. Now the reason why I'm going for the middle is because I can still get access to here to bolt all these cross members in. So just going to loosely put all these in for a minute. Okay, now in the end you might have to push these out a little bit. And then over here, we can do the same. Now, the next step before we go crazy, so I lock these middle ones in with this, just these middle 4. So we know that we're good. Now I'm gonna bang the drawer in. So now that locks these these things, and see the ends here. What I should have said was check these, make sure these are all lined up perfectly the same. So that's going to matter when you close the drawers up. The next step we're going to go through is, so these sides are still loose, they can move in and out and stuff, so we can get our drawers in. I'm going to show you how to put the drawer in. Now on this side of the vehicle, you're only having a short drawer because that fan takes all that room away and you can't have a really nice drawer there. So what we're doing is, you'll see here, these are like a channel here, and then in here they've got a little receiving profile as well. So all you got to do on each side of the drawer is I'll start by lining up the right hand side, come around the left here, line him up. Now we just push it in like that, full a bit of resistance, come back a bit, go again, beautiful. Look at that, magic. So now that one's in, I know that it's good. I'm going to go ahead and grab the other drawer and I'm going to put the other one in, get it right lined up, and then we can lock everything out and start tightening everything up while the drawers are in there so we know it's running perfectly. Right, same thing again, I've lined the left side up, then we line the right side up, slide him in, pull him back a bit, go again, and then go another one, something. Alrighty, so now what we can do is now I've got both drawers in. Both of these drawers have now locked this out so it works on that one. So it's working fine. So now what we do is we go to the ends here, we just lock our end bolts down so none of this moves. So that way these all stay in the same position for us. And then a 10mm socket. I need a hydrate actually, just a little hydration break. Cheers legends. Okay, so we've got our rattling device. So I've got a 14mm on here. We're going to go through and pull the cross members down first to the floor. It's weird. How do you want it? Beautiful. So they're pulled down now. Cool. Now we go to the back section. We're going to do the same thing. Those ones are bigger. They're going to be pretty sure those ones are like a 17 or something. Yep, they're a 17. So the two with the spacer we put in, they're a 17. Back to me 14. Beautiful. Now that's all locked in and bloody marvellous. So now we can get the 10mm spanner. I'll put 10mm socket on them, but 10mm spanner to do the other ones. Come on, tick. Get the 10 mil. These come in the middle. Not too many ugga-duggers, just enough. Get out of there. Oh, that one wasn't in properly. Perfect, now I'll get the spanner and I'll tighten all the rails up on the bottom there. And that's this thing done. Not done, but that's all tightened up then. Okay, so 10 mil spanner, you can start here. I got a ratchet spanner, nice and easy. Tighten them up. Beautiful. Jump in here, do the same. I'll show you these ones here. You get the point. You got 8 along here to do. You got 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. Let's get them done up. And then we'll go to the next stage. Rightio, so as I mentioned before, planks, which I showed you how to do, so we're going to put the remainder of the planks in now. So, grab that. Going to walk over. We'll try to go to the very back. They'll all just drop in like that. Next one. Will drop in as well. Next one. He'll drop in as well. And then the next one. This bad boy will drop in too. So that easy on them. Now I'll get the bolts. Alrighty, so just as we did before, we now have the planks in. We're going to get our countersink bolts that are in the packs. This is the countersink bolt. So you'll see here, you've got this tapered edge, and it goes down to the thread. That's a countersink bolt M6 that you're going to need. Now they go in the middle here. You put them in the whole way through the middle. Let me put these ones in before we do the end. Alrighty, so next up we have our tie down rail. Now, we only have one because we forgot to order 2, you know. Imagine needing 2 of these to tie something down in the back. But anyways, we forgot to order 2, so too close to go on the Cape now. We leave in 24 hours, so anyways, here we are. So, I'll show you how to put this in. Very simple. You've got your holes here, and that bit goes up, so it goes down that way. Lined up with the holes on the edge here. Get your M6 button heads that we provide. So it's a button head. Drop that bad boy there in the hole. Line him up. Do better than me. Come down here, pick another random holder so it keeps it straight. Get him started. And then you can just go through and put bolts in them all and tighten them up. Now, something I didn't mention before, is when you do these middle ones, you can do them up. So when you run these countersinks in, do them up tight now because that's all locked away and then we can go through the sides. But you need to do both sides before you do them up. Sweet. Okay, so if you opted in for our bloody foam package, our protective foam package and the dividers, you're going to need to put these in before you do the drawers. So you're going to have to unbolt your rails, have your rails and everything out. You need to put the foam in and then you can bolt your divider sections here inside and your rails and everything. So you'll see them here, they bolt in. Ta-da! Now, I'm going to give you a rundown on how to put this in. So I've just peeled the backing off, which is just a sticky back. Now it's just like a sticky back. Then you want to rub this down with some wax and grease remover, whatever you got, just a rag, like I'll just wipe it down with a rag. And then you'll see here we've got these holes, and see this one here, it's got a little bit of shit in it. So I'm just going to put my finger in there, just peel that bit of shit out of it, just from the machining, so it tidies it up that little bit more. Now when I go to put this on, I'm just going to look over the top and I'm going to line up the 4 bolts straight through the holes. And then before I drop it, I'm just going to eyeball the front edge. Yep, it looks reasonably straight. Alrighty. Ta-da! And that's it. And you do that across the whole lot of them and job done. Woo! Righto, legends. So this is it. That's done, dusted, finally installed. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of information on these drawers. So first of all, when you open them up, they're 120 mil inside. So you can see in here that you've got 120 mil height depth, so you can get under there and put different bits in. They're 450 mil wide. This one's only 500 because of the battery in the back there. Now, you've got these divider panels, which are pretty cool. You can just drop them in wherever you like. You find a hole for it. Doink, put that in. There's no actual latch on this, so we've actually got a friction-based seal on this that causes a latching mechanism. So to go in, super easy to put in, but to pull out, got to give it a bit of pull. So very, very good. Now this side, we've got 120 mil deep again, but we've got 900 mil long draws. Again, dividers in there and stuff. These are all optional. Dividers are optional. This protective cover flooring that looks badass, by the way, is optional. Now put that in there. Now the beautiful thing about this is when you buy this car factory, you've got your seats and that in there. The top of your seats and that stupid thing they have in here sits about yay high, another 60 mil higher. So we've removed some of that height out to give you way more storage space in here and giving you storage underneath with it, which I think is pretty damn good. Now to top it all off, it's not even going to kick your GVM over because it's completely aluminium construction and it only weighs 43 kilos. Pretty damn good, I reckon. But anyways, legends, that is a wrap on this one. Now, if you like this product, down below in the description, you'll find a link over to the webpage where you can grab yourself one of these and see all the other badass products that we do for the 250 series and many more. And if you like this content, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, punch that notification bell at the top. And if you really, really like this content, you might like this one here, you might like that one over there. Right, loaded in Single Spot. See you next week. Oh, make sure you stay hydrated.